Hi there, my loves. Hi, baby boos. It is Christmas weekend. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy New Year, Merry Christmas. The most important thing is that 90 Day Fiancé gave us a gift today, Sunday, which we are going to talk about, which is this episode of Before the 90 Days. And it's so interesting because some people should not even be on this show because they're not quite at the level of relationship status that we become accustomed to for the Before the 90 Days. Like, Kimbali and Usman are not like in a relationship. Well, they are, I guess, fan and artist, much like Mikey Jackson and her, the soul of Mikey Jackson. Do I have any makeup on? No, I don't. But I did buy this luxury beauty product on Costco, which I think is still available, not sponsored, but I do love this. Eminence, the Eminence brand, which is often in spas. This is the facial recovery oil, which I've had before. It smells great. That's a very clean product line. I think everything's organic. The reason why I bought that is because I really wanted the Vintner's Daughter serum, and it was just so expensive. So, welcome to the night. I'm so excited to see you all. Please, as you come in, like the video, give it a little thumbs up. Here's the docket for everyone. Obviously, tell me in the chat what's happening. You can be here because you love me, Chris Farah. Hi, welcome to my channel. Or maybe you're a fan of Just Call Me Wah, of Just Call Me Wah fame, of Wahimalino. Wahimalino. Or you might be a fan of Matty Marr, honey, and he and my friend Jake Anthony, of course, have a fabulous podcast called The Reality Gaze, 90 Day Gaze from the past. But I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say that, but I can say it. I can say whatever I want. So, I see some people are in the room and people have been excited. I'm so excited to see you guys. My face will become less red as the night goes on. Don't worry. Your girl, besides the fact that she put on that facial oil, she just got off that Peloton. She's getting that early Peloton New Year's body, honey. She's not waiting for New Year's. She has a goal. And I think that and I can probably talk about that because Wah has been on her grind. So, and that is who I'm going to bring up because guess what? I have my best friend and yours, and she is just the best. And obviously, I love her very much. Do I like this? Do I like this? Let's see. That's Wahi Malino. Hi, Wah.
Hi, everyone. Hello. I'm wearing this very chic neck and shoulder heating pad. So get into it.
Oh, I didn't know that was a heating pad. I thought that was just like a shawl, honey.
No, it's because I have an infection, as I told you,
Yeah.
right here in my lymph node. And so part of the way to alleviate some of the pain is by having a heat pad. Luckily, I already had this from my surgery because I was having gas all in my body. So, this is where she is on today. But hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm happy to see you and always happy to have your truthful and authentic self. I just had like a full-on multi-million-dollar idea. What if we made, how like Hermes scarves are like very nice and beautiful prints and sell for hundreds of dollars, and that thing you're wearing is like an effective thing that like people could use. What if you married the two?
I mean, what if I made it like a luxury neck and shoulder heat pad? Oh, okay,
You know
I was
what?
gone.
Okay, you know why? I'm so sorry. People are saying they don't see you. And so I got a little scared. You guys, do you see what? It says, Walls, your screen is black. But I
I don't
see
know
you.
why.
Everyone is saying can't see Wah. Well, okay, wait 1 second. Here she is. Hi, Wah. I can
It
see
says
you.
I'm in
And
the
I'm
show. It says
like,
everyone can see and hear you. You're in the show. That's what it says to me.
okay.
Oh. Okay,
Look at my
would you like me to leave the studio and come back in?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's not that I just still don't know how. Okay, yeah,
There you go.
yes.
Crystal says there you go. Crystal's here. Crystal
Oh,
sees me.
what? I wonder if
Summer
this
of
is your.
Dragon Pie. Okay, S. Betty Ross. All right, here we go. Here we go. Jasmine, we're here. We're good.
I'm sorry, my loves. I must time. Don't worry, I'll timestamp when this video goes live. You know, it's blurry though. Well, we can't do everything. You know, God bless. Well, you know, we're doing the best we can. So, anyway, we are going to get into this episode, and we of course have some guests, and people will be coming in and giving their opinion when they can. And I have some fun topics, including some Christmas cards from 90 Day Families they wanted to share with us. And also, if you would like to, just so you know, you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I love a super chat, which I am using this as a segue to say thank you, Lynn J, because we unfortunately were having some technical difficulties. And so I want to say thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I mean, Kalia and Lynn J. Oh my God, that's incredibly jealous. I mean, jealous, incredibly generous. And well, first of all, I'm jealous, honey. Look at that eye. I always am jealous of like that like just beautiful eyeball. But thank you so much. And Merry Christmas to you and your fam. Wall loves you too.
Yes, I do. My video is already live on YouTube. So after you finish watching this live, you can go check out my edited video of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, season 5, episode 3, first dates and second thoughts.
Ooh, yes, honey. They're having some second thoughts, some third thoughts. They don't know what to believe. I mean, it's crazy. What a shit show. Love your fancy cape, wow. Your fancy warm cape. We're make it like a whole situation where we like have printed warming ones. Can you imagine like living anywhere where it gets cold? And if you had a beautiful printed cape that also kept you warm, oh my God. Well, first of all, I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. Like screw comedy and screw these recaps, honey. I'm gonna be so rich. Well, I'll take Wall with me. All right. So I really like this episode. This is the episode of people like having gone on their initial journeys, having now gotten to a place, the place where they see the person for the first time, and or not, and or maybe, and we'll see, or it's teased, and we're not quite sure. I want to, let's see. What couple do you have a preference of starting Wall or no?
I mean, if we're really trying to entertain the people, we should obviously start with Gino and Jasmine.
Oh, I don't care about people.
Okay, Gino and Jasmine.
Well, I was like, no, I'm sorry. Do you care about me? Because I said Gino and Jasmine. Perfect. Okay, so first of all, the Gino and Jasmine, when it starts, I'm like, okay, well, if you are getting paid TLC to like have some sort of travel influx of tourism into Panama by showing really beautiful bee footage, you're doing a good job, because like Panama's now on the list, you know, like in a way that, and I hate to say this, Providencia maybe wasn't on the list as much. Wow.
You know what? I support it. It's a Central American country, like all Central American countries. There's beautiful parts and there's not beautiful parts. And if you're going to go to the capital of a city, and that capital of a city is on the beach, then like that's what you're going to get. In Belize, Belmopan is not the capital. It's the capital, but it's not on the beach. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get those shots. But if you are visiting a capital city and it happens to be on the beach, this is what you get.
Yeah. Like I guess Miami's beautiful, West Palm Beach. Now, what is the capital again called?
Panama City?
No, the one you said earlier.
I said Panama City.
Oh, you said
Belmopan. Sorry, Belize. Yeah. Belize's capital is Belmopan, and that's not on the coast. So when you get shots of Belmopan, it's not necessarily as beautiful because it's inland.
Belmopan. Okay. Well, you know, God bless. Well, I still want to go see it. And still into Panama. Jasmine's like jealousy. Like, I guess I'm also signed up for the ride of that and the tourism, because how crazy. So Jasmine and Gino, honey, having seen each other for the first time, and Jasmine, I guess, being somewhat into what she sees, but also questioning it. And then Gino being completely overwhelmed, honey, like a kid in the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, honey. Like, there are some outside. Wow, do you know about the Reddit thing where he supposedly has all these like escorts that he's like gone to over the years?
Only because I've seen you talk about it. I've heard you talk about it, not because I've seen it on my own.
Okay, so some of that's like, okay, so supposedly he had an ex, and everyone here is just so we know on the same page. And I'm going to bring it up because you'll see why. because I make a point, which is this man feels like he has never felt the breath of a woman before on his body. But at the same time, supposedly he has an ex-girlfriend, and he has paid women to, like, give him the girlfriend experience, honey, that girlfriend experience, and that's a little extra to make it feel like they love him. Okay. Oh my God, Baba Baby Blinky Bacon got my Golden State Stymie. Would love to share the love. Thanks for the recap. Oh my God, that is incredibly sweet and incredibly also generous. But oh my God, you guys, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. That's lovely. Look at that baby. Wow.
He's a little bit older now, but
I know.
that's Jensen.
God, I want one. God, I want one so bad. And just like, it's so interesting how doll-like and porcelain-like, I mean, that color and everything. I'm gonna do the same thing, honey. I'm just gonna like have him have a baby, honey. I'm gonna have so many goddamn photo shoots of that baby. Okay, so Jasmine has a screw loose, and that is absolutely true. Hey, Coco Bang Bang. No, you did not miss much. So, uh, Wah. Now, let me say this. How do you feel about the way that Jasmine reacts to Gino's appearance and how Gino reacts to his hormones with his his like pubescent hormones with Jasmine?
I think that Jasmine is doing the best that she can, because I think there's a certain part of her that understands that she doesn't want to come off of somebody who just is with him for the green card because of all of her Americanness, as much as she's in love with America. And so I think she, at the same time, does not want to be shown as a negative character, but some of her negative characteristics just come out. For example, she's taken a page out of the Larissa notebook, right? She's watched the show. She knows what to do and what not to do. I think that Gino, on the other hand, and him being nervous, this is probably the hottest girl he's been with in a while, since his ex-wife, who he's still friends with, apparently. And so he doesn't want to mess it up because he wants to have sex and he wants this to be the real thing. He wants to have children with her. And I love the fact that for the first time, the foreigner is far more audibly understanding the name of the game than we've seen in the past.
Okay, so you think that he's on board with like having to buy her things and like what she's into?
Yeah. I think he understands that there's a trade happening and that he is going to be fully complicit in said trade.
Well, listen, yes. I mean, he's there to wine and dine her, honey. He takes her out to dinner, and it looks like a beautiful restaurant. It's like very modern, honey. He orders red wine, she orders white. Not just the only contention, honey, because she has like a vegetarian wrap, honey. He's like, how's that burger? Now, when you ask someone at a restaurant, how's that burger? What are you gonna get? No, I'm not. Because a burger basically is one of the easiest things you can make. Like like if you don't make a burger right, then you should not be a restaurant. You should not be open. You'll close soon. Like if you can't get a burger right, it's on your menu. Come on. So as someone asks like how the burger is, like he wants a burger, which I get. I love a burger. Wow, do you love burger?
I love a burger too. Delicious.
Now, here's the thing. Sorry, no cheddar, no American cheese. Wow, no American cheese.
I mean, not for me. I don't think that people, like when I think of the word American cheese, I don't actually think of cheese. I think of a processed slice of Kraft cheese, which is not cheese. That is not cheese. That is a chemically based, made cheese-like substance that we were all made to feel like we needed after World War II in order to get our calcium.
What if Wad has closed her computer, like, and mic drop, like done. I hate American cheese. I know, but I hate it. I think it's rude to call it American cheese. Like, I think it's like, oh my God, like that's horrible. Like American cheese is how anyone but Europeans, but like pretty much anyone, not even Europeans, because a lot of great cheese comes from a lot of places. How most other people think of Americans: processed, fake, bad for you, not really natural, not really real. There's no appreciation for the finer things in life. No way how to behave. Absolutely no taste buds. No, for some reason, idea of how to like live well. Like that's what American cheese means to me.
Yes. When I was in Quebec, they would often ask me if I wanted American cheese, like to make me feel at home. And I would be like, no. Do you have cheddar?
Yeah.
Don't ask me if I want American cheese because I'm American. Please. You're insulting me.
Absolutely not. I Cheddar for sure has like a UK lineage in the sense of definitely like it feels like, Irish cheddar is a whole thing and like, Gloucester cheddar, honey, and like English cheddar, I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, for sure. And like I went up and down that Vermont, honey, and they have a bunch of cheddar there, that Vermont. And Wisconsin loves cheddar. So it's so unfortunate because I feel like cheddar is such a great one. Why can't we be cheddar? It's because someone else claimed cheddar. And the second thing is, your cheese should not be yellow, period. Okay. So, really, and also if we're talking about a burger, can it be like medium rare? Can it have like grilled onions and a little like Thousand Island? Wow.
My favorite thing is he's like, my first Panamanian meal. And I'm like, this is not Panamanian food. So there's that. You didn't eat the Panamanian food.
He's like, my Panamanian wine. He holds the wine like he wants his whole hand to warm the glass as warm as the red wine as warm as possible. Like, his whole hand's around that glass, honey. If he's like, let's how hot we can get this red wine. Maybe it'll start like fermenting again. So basically what happens is he like gets a friend request on Instagram and like it pops up as a notification on the phone or whatever. And she like has already been all over this phone, honey. Like she already was like, what's the password of the phone? He's like, my face. And we're all like, there's also a password to your phone. There's also a password to your phone. You're like, even if you have Face ID enabled, you also have a password, right? What?
Yes. There is a 6-digit code.
Oh, yeah, of course there is, but he doesn't want to say what it is, like, so he's just like, but she comes around the table and like puts her arm around his neck, honey, in such a way like she's like gonna give him a chokehold, honey, and is like, let me see that phone. And then she's like, who's this? And he's just like, I don't know, and she like deletes it. Look at, oh God, yeah, takes it, honey, deletes it right away, and she's like, good, and she thinks that like everything is good, and Gino just has to make it home. I mean, at this point, I'm surprised he doesn't take a blue pill. I would be like, good, you're happy? I would take the blue pill now and get things started, which would be like a hilarious sitcom, but I guess this isn't a sitcom. So then they go to, the bill comes and she's like, no, right there, do this one, not me, and he's like, yes. And then they have this conversation about like whether, that he would pay for the first date. And then so you had said that he knows how it's supposed to go. I mean, he's going to always be getting that bill then, right, Wah?
Yeah, I thought it was unnecessary for her to say that. Like, he knows that he's paying for everything.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he wouldn't think he would be.
Yeah. I have someone that I want to bring in. You know him and you love him, and so do I. Wow, you know Matt too, right? You guys met before.
No.
Okay, well then I'll get to introduce people live on screen. Okay, so you guys put your space bars together or your like buttons up for my friend and yours, Matt Marr.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, it's nice to meet you. It's Wah, right? Not Wahima, right? Or
yes. Yeah, okay. I mean, listen, you said it right, Matt. So you can call me Wahima.
Well, if Poodle was here, he would shade me. But I learned some things back in Oklahoma. I didn't learn shit in Oklahoma. But whatever. Thank you for having me here, Chris. We love you.
I love you guys so much. I love you and Jake, but like
Poodle says hi.
Yes, please, give him my love. I love that man so much.
He's in South Carolina, desperately avoiding COVID at all costs.
Yeah, that's how I've been. That's how I've been like at my dad's house in Newport, pretty much, just like not coming to LA. But I mean, yeah.
Pretty much.
How was your weekend, my love? How was everything?
Christmas was. The boyfriend and I did jack shit. We just hung out. We just laid about, and really, honestly, that's about it. We just this, and Matt Sharp, as we say, he doesn't care about Christmas. So,
and we thank him for it.
I was angry to watch it, and then I watched the episode, and I went, "Well, Ella was actually a Christmas gift. I didn't know I was going to get."
Yeah. You know, when your parents, I have a question. You know, when your parents, do you ever do this for where they wrapped gifts for you and they had the biggest present for last, either hid it or something? And so as a kid, you opened all your gifts and let's just say you really wanted like a bike. This literally happened to me. I really wanted a bike or whatever. So my dad like hid the like bike in like a closet. So I opened up my gifts or whatever. And I was like, oh, great. And he's like, did Santa get everything you want this year? And I was like, yeah. You know, because I'm really sweet, whatever. But he's like, then he's like, everything. And he brings in a bike, and I'm like, it's not bike, you know, whatever I'm saying. But that's kind of like what Matt Sharp did for us. He was like, every couple, you got it. So you guys happy with everyone? And we're like, yeah, it's cool. And he's like,
it's good.
one more, just one. Do you want one more to see what the big one is? You know, like a big one, like the bigger present at the end. I didn't mean, you know, God bless. Sounds bad. And it being
Big one's a big sword, and we still have another one. We still haven't seen the super Christian buff guy who's getting catfished.
That's why, Matt, do you think that we don't know them? Do you think that we haven't seen him because maybe his storyline isn't like, you know, like as long for a whole season?
I think it's Jake thinks it's DOA. He thinks that it's gonna be like a 6-episode thing.
I agree. I definitely agree. I call catfish and I call BS when a woman from a country like Ukraine or Russia, where the hell she's from, is named Mahogany. Why would you name that white person Mahogany?
I don't know, but Diana Ross was part of my gay sexual awakening, and I just want to sing that theme song, but I can't because they haven't showed her yet.
Is this a 70s Diana Ross movie? Like, what's happening? Mahogany.
Mahogany, honey.
That's true.
If anyone had a secret, mahogany is the wood in which your casket buries all the secrets of mahogany in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I will listen. Just so you know, Matt, we started talking about Gino and Jasmine. We're like barely through we're like basically only now at the bill, so we haven't gotten not afar. Okay, so just so you know where we at. But we haven't gone through anyone else, and this is the longest live ever. This would make no sense for anyone who wants to watch this later, but God bless for them. I also wanted to bring up 2 things now that I have you for. I don't know how long I'm going to have you for. Did you guys see the Christmas card of Pow and Russ?
No.
Sorry, Wall.
Oh, so she's not going to put clothes on for this Christmas, and it's going to be also like the baby in action. Okay. There's
a blurred baby.
Yeah, she doesn't care. One picture about what the baby looks like. It's like matching PJ. Is it matching PJs? I'm not quite sure.
I mean, she looks like a slutty Mary Kay salesman.
His hand is on her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be broken up, but this does not look broken up. This was happily in that RV life,
but,
you know?
But wait, it says hello baby. So does that mean they're having another baby? Because it almost looks like a birth announcement.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Also, she put this picture up in her Instagram, and there's a series of pictures, and this is, I didn't zoom in on this. She put this picture up of her child, so. Now, he's so sweet. What a sweet looking baby that has Pow's face. I'm sorry, that has Russ's face. That baby's not having fun at the RV, honey. Like
that baby's not having fun.
No, nobody. That baby is like, God bless, you know, like.
He's a very beautiful child though. And I like Russ's more field and bit. The thing with Russ is we're actually, because on our Patreon, we cover classic 90 Day. And because Jake and I jumped in at like season 3 of Before the 90 Days, so we missed a lot. So like we're just now watching the season of Happily Ever After. Like we literally just watched the chicken feed episode. Next episode we're seeing Bitch Ass Slut Ass Whore with Chantel and Pedro. So like we've got we're watching like Anfisa, George, and we like Russ just moved down to Miami. Like, I know, just cry for what it was, Chris Fair. Cry for what it was.
Friends,
oh my God, the heyday. That's where I started recapping season 1 of Before the 90 Days. Like, that's where I started. But I actually watched Jorge. I call him Jorge because that name is Jorge.
I call him Jorge too, and Jake gets on to me. He's like, it's George. Did I just say Jorge?
His mama named him Jorge. If she wanted people to call him George, then she would have spelled it with a G-E-O.
Yes. When he's talking to his mother, who is Spanish speaking to him and not speaking, she calls him Jorge. Whatever.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I jumped in, like I was at Chris's house, and just she's like, I have to watch this episode of 90 Day Fiancé, okay? And this is before I was even doing YouTube on the scale that I was doing it. And I was like, okay. And I just saw Jorge and Anfisa, and I was like, what is happening?
Give me my makeup back. You're just like,
Yeah, we saw that episode like 3 it was. It's really good. It's classic, but I feel like this is a good season. I feel like this season could I feel like the people on this before are it's I feel like we've got it kind of reminds me of that season that there's all types. There's the people that actually love for them. Like we're rooting for Charlie Brown, even though she's gonna totally destroy him. Mike, that's his, I call him Charlie Brown. But Mike and his girl Hema, I can't say her name. Ximena, that's it. I'm sorry the
Ximena.
Oklahoma comes through. Ximena.
No, you'll get that again. No, you have to deal with that name again, you know.
I know. So it's but then I don't know. But yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift. So yeah, but with just I mean, poor Gino and like if y'all y'all were wrapping up, but I mean it's just I mean it's I just love a sex crazed villain. This is literally something out of like like a 1980s movie. Like she's like we're gonna find out at the end of this that she actually is a robot.
Yeah. Why would you, why, except for the fact that we guess she's been cheated on, does she think that like Gino is just going to be like inundated with like women all day long and he just gets his pick of whoever he wants?
Because he's a man. Because he's a man, and men will cheat no matter what. And so I need to she's the greatest when she's like, Gino, when I tell you something, you just need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the rumor mill. I'm not a news person. I'm not Melanated Way or 90 Day Cray Cray. I'm not breaking news. Yeah. And so we just kind of talk about the shit show. So I would tell people to go to them, but I'm hearing that Gino has a history of being a skis and really sexually like being freaky deaky with women online and things like that. So I'm not saying he's a Steven too, and none of this has been substantiated, but I'm just saying we could find that out. But maybe that's a reason why she knows that. I guess his ex-girlfriend had read it and all this, and I try to read it, and then I don't care that much. I just like to watch the show. I'm like y'all. I just kind of like to watch the show and stay in the fantasy land like Alina.
Oh, puppy. I know, sweetheart. Isn't she? I mean, not even her friend could like pull her out of that cloud. So just we have to get past, it's so funny. Like, okay, so pretty much Gino and Jasmine, they get back to their place. Jasmine's upset that Gino wanted to leave that tip, American style tipping versus Panamanian style tipping, but like it wasn't
Panama tip. I want to leave a Panama tip.
I'm going, Matt, to Panama, and I'm not tipping anyone. I'm just going to live like a local, honey. Can't wait. Spend $2 there. Horrible. No, I would totally just go and spend so much money. But I will say, so she's upset. She's always upset at him. He doesn't know whether he's going to take that Viagra pill. You said like a 90s or an 80s movie. I said sitcom. This Viagra pill like moment of like, should I take it as also as funny as when he tries to drink water, my loves, with a mask on. He is so scared of this woman. I felt like that he is just like, doesn't know where to drink the water with the mask, can't take the blue pill, honey. Like,
he doesn't know whether to take the pill, charge his phone, or take off his shoes. Like, it is just so difficult for this man.
He can't shower, he can't cuddle, he cannot kiss.
Chris, you know that I freaked out when he said he couldn't shower. You know I freaked out when he sat his dirty ass on the sheets with the covers pulled back. And then she got in it with her thong, in a cobalt blue lacy teddy.
leopard thong, but that's just a nightgown. That's not laundry. That's just like ratty, which they wears it. My God bless, like her like blue fembot. But
Yeah,
I
she
also,
called them PJs.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm like,
Honey,
no,
we're in Paola. Wait,
no,
listen.
no.
Wait, you guys. No, I'm going to say this now. Listen. Now, we really have to think, are we all being American? No, are we all being American and not understanding that listen, South American women, honey, they have different PJs. They're not on this
This is
American.
true. Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
this is it. Okay.
Maybe this is it. You're right.
We've got to take a long, hard look at ourselves.
As a descendant of a Central American, Panama's in Central America. That bitch is just crazy. Okay. 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 You know what I'm saying? She crazy. She crazy.
It's just also a known thing. Like if your lover takes a shower and then comes to you and is like, do you want to take a shower? What that person is saying is, go take a shower so I can lick every part of you, and if you want me to do that.
So go get clean so we can get dirty.
Yes, of course. But I mean, I guess again, like I said, like for someone who I guess, and I've talked about it, Matt, so everyone here knows about the like perhaps escort services that he paid for, including the girlfriend experience. Like,
oh yeah,
he has to know that he got to shower before. Women like showers. Shower them with kisses, diamonds, roses, and then you get showers. You shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
but yeah,
native body wash. Whatever.
Oh, I love Native. Native is good. My friend Mikey turned me on to Mikey Jackson. Ha ha ha. No, not really. But my friend Mikey turned me on to the La Occitan almond oil shower gel. It's really, really great.
Oh, I love L'Occitane. Love it. Best lip stuff, best nail cuticle oil. Sorry, we're going down a rabbit hole.
I know. We have to move on because we talked about this for a long time. Let's move on to next on my list. And unless you have anyone you want to like throw out, is Kim and Usman. Kimbali, baby girl, Kimbali.
I'm on my way to see my superstar. He's Usman, Soldier Boy. I'm not a super fan. I'm a potential. That's what I'm going to be. A potential.
It's like it feels very like I could have been a contender, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean. Ooh, boy. I mean, I think I want to feel for her, but I mean, she is a super fan. This is the woman who has like Michael Jackson's hat in her house. Like I admit it. I am a Shania Twain super fan. I'm a Justin Timberlake super fan. I have done freaky deaky weird things people shouldn't do because of these love for these stars. And I admit that I'm a super fan. Like, just admit it. You're a super fan of Usman. You're not his fucking girlfriend.
But she's ascended from the super fan genre because he invited her to Tanzania. And she is hell-bent on proving that she is not she who shall not be named Lisa. And it is so incredible that she has deluded herself into believing that she is going to come to this country and convince this man to be in a relationship with her. Listen, you crazy people out there. Listen, I'm talking to you, all of those on the right-hand side in this group. Don't be like Kimbali, okay? Leave them people alone. Let's just watch them and enjoy the shit show.
Yes.
She lands, honey, in Zanzibar. She gets to this taxi driver, honey. She is like, can't wait to like have a friendly face. And this taxi driver is friendly, honey. But we get some information about Kimbali, which is that she's like, okay, so are you safe? Like you're just like you're not gonna like hurt me because I'm a woman traveling alone with a bunch of money and here's all my luggage. So you're not gonna
gifts.
Yeah. And then she's like, don't even worry, you guys. Don't even worry about like me saying any of that because I was in the army and I could take them. Like he can't touch me, honey. I was in Desert Storm, which by the way, Kimbali, thank you for your service. Truly. Thank you. So I'm going to find whatever I say in this moment. Like, I'll tell you this. I don't not like her. I actually very much like her. I mean, I think she's charming as hell.
I do. Jake thinks she's going to show her American privilege but I don't think she's going to be anything like Miss Raw Dog and Lisa, baby girl Lisa, who likes a raw dog and Nigerian man. I don't think it's gonna be anything like that because she was just foul, like foul. I think we called her the rock monster from Neverending Story. I mean, it was horrible. She's just horrible. I don't think Kim is anywhere like that. I think Kim is like, honestly, I have empathy for her because I think she's just this kind of lonely heart super fan and I think Usman just invited her to a video and he thinks maybe, I don't know. He's Usman. It's weird. He's a weird con artist because he's conning her, but then he acts like, is he like doing that? I'm gonna keep you from afar, and then at the last minute, be like, okay, you can be my girlfriend. Get me to America. I don't know.
I think that he saw an opportunity, reached out to producers, and said, "Look, I have another storyline for y'all," and they were like, "Cool." I think that he's a businessman at the end of the day. Also, I really do think that like she set herself up for this reality. She wanted to be on this show. She said yes to everything. She signed all of the NDAs. She signed all the paperwork.
Oh, she didn't even read them. Read them.
Yeah. So whatever's happening, she said okay, and she can get these jokes. Okay, I'm saying like she can get these jokes.
Yeah,
I will make fun of her, and that's where we're gonna be from there.
I agree. So so she also could kill any of us with her bare hands. So let's just also, she probably could kill us. Like, I'll tell you right now, if me versus Kimberly, I'll put money on Kimberly.
Yeah. I also think that she's like, I've had a black husband before. I know what to do.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of that. So
I'll be honest, if her husband looked anything like her son, then Kimberly got it. Early.
When
I saw that picture of her, I'll be honest, when I saw the picture of her in Desert Storm, I like had this like flash of like, I like you. I bet I would have liked you. I mean, I'm not saying we'd be best friends, like, but I'm just saying like, if you were drunk at a bar, like, honey, in Saudi Arabia, or no, because probably not in Saudi Arabia, but like back home, I would love to hear a story or two,
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Yeah, so she decides to, honey, make love and not war. So she travels again, honey. I'm like, what a segue, God bless, to, of course, her love, Usman, who's going to meet her there. And I just like, I don't feel so bad that she just had to like get up there by herself. Like, it's just, she is alone. She's not in a relationship, which I also talked about. Like, she's not in a relationship. So I don't know why she's quite on the show. It's not quite before the 90 Day Fiancé. It's more like 90 Day potential girlfriend super fan. But
yeah. I mean, that would be a great show in itself. It's just a 90 Days first reality competition show of who gets to be Usman's girlfriend. Because we already know there was this Zara woman that he broke up with because she was super jealous. So, and I am praying that she ends up on the tell-all. That's all I want.
I agree. I really wanted a lot more of her.
Because I think that's where Kim's going to show herself. I think Kim is going to, not as bad as Jasmine, but I think Kim's going to get like super crazy around any potential female attention for Usman, which, I mean, girl, sit down.
We're going to see it. We're going to see that, right? Well, we talk about the super teaser when we see like this hot ass girl, like at some dinner where she's like, I know you're here, soldier boy, but why are you here, Kim? She wouldn't even say Kimberly, like Kim.
Kim.
So we see another artist come through, and then also we see a scene where she realizes that the song Zara is written for a specific woman, and she throws the water in his face. They've been teasing that too.
Oh, they did tease that.
Wait, did she really Zara the whole time the clothing store? What do you think was Zara's about?
I know that. I mean, I feel like if I had a recording superstar, they're going to have loves in their life. They're going to sing a song about. I mean, who cares if they make $1 million and it pays for our vacation? Then Zara's fine.
Yeah. Well, someone's gonna pay for that honeymoon suite. She books that. She gets flowers for him. She's like the cab driver is like driving her around. She's like, "Would you be weirded out if a woman got you flowers?" Like, yes. She's like, "Flowers, yes." Like, there's not even he doesn't bat an eye, honey. He doesn't skip a beat. He's driving, so he's not skipping. she gets, but she's like, okay, she's like doing the most. It's cringy to watch.
She's doing the
I want.
most.
What's harder to watch? And I'll do this. Is it harder to watch Gino make out with Jasmine, or is it harder to watch like Kimbali just give present after present to like an Usman who does not want to raw dog her as much as he wanted to raw dog other people?
Gino kissing Jasmine.
Same. That was like
the arm,
and
she's like,
and just that was like, that was against God's will.
The flowers are one thing, and then this girl
but the room is decorated horribly.
Wait a minute. Did she have them come back and redo the room the next night? Or did she just like move the swans and move the petals?
I think she just moves them around. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. She put him on, then she put him back. Yes.
But girl, he hugged you, was like, hi, nice to meet you. And then he literally like hugged and kissed a PlayStation. Honey, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. I mean, yeah, as Lucy R says, it was kind of heartbreaking to watch that.
Yes, it was. It is heartbreaking to watch. It's cringy. It's heartbreaking. You're just like, I like you, Lucy. Thank you for, God bless, putting your life on the line. And then you're, like, even though you're like, lovely and nice now, we still want you to make good decisions, and one of them would be like, don't buy this person a PlayStation 5 and a MacBook Pro. And like,
while you're wearing a t-shirt with his face on it.
And they already called you a super fan. You're like, don't call me a super fan. Like, wah.
Chris, a MacBook, that is what speaks to my soul as a person who edits. I can't even. This
MacBook Pro, girl.
This woman says that she dipped into her savings to pay for this, and I was like, "Oh, bitch, you dipped into your savings to pay for this and other shit." A whole MacBook Pro. That's like $2,000 if I'm being conservative. Like,
no, mine just went out, so I had to get a new computer. It's like $3,000 easy.
Yeah, easy. And then that PS5 was really hard to get. I mean, it was really hard to get last year, Christmas 2020. So
that's when this was.
I don't quite. Yeah. So Chris, if all I had to do was pretend to be somebody's potential girlfriend for them to give me a Mac, you know what I would do for a MacBook Pro?
What?
Would you make out with Gino for a MacBook Pro?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes,
you
I
would.
I would make out with Big Ed for a MacBook Pro.
Oh,
recent with women, breath, Rosemary for a MacBook Pro. What's her name? I would fucking feed the chickens with him or her daddy, Big Ed, and shower with the rats for a MacBook Pro. Somebody come at me.
Would you eat the pork like Larry, who wouldn't eat the pork?
I would eat the pork. I would eat the chicken feet. I would eat whatever for a MacBook Pro.
Bitch, I applaud you.
I mean, like, we're going to start a GoFundMe. I mean, she really wants one, she wants one, Oh, not an iPad Pro. She wants a MacBook Pro, Lupe. Yeah. Love my MacBook Pro. Okay, so yeah, it's horrible. She gets called a super fan, and also the guy doing it's like a kind of an asshole because he already has been told not to call her a super fan. He calls it to her face, and she's like, whatever, like you don't call me that. And then later in the car, he's like, why don't you want me to call you a super fan? Which I'm like,
that was a producer. Chris, that was a producer.
Moment. Yeah.
You know what, Slim Thug? You should ask her. Why?
Is that Slim Thug or Badman?
I don't know his name. I have a whole bit. It's like Badman and
Badmus and Slim T, but both of them. And I have a lisp, so I'm with you, Kimberly, if you're watching. So I love that. It's like the word lisp. Why did they put an S in there for us? It just fucks us up. So she's just like, even when she's like Badmus and Super T. I'm not a super fan. Not a super fan. I'm a potential. I'm a potential.
No, I can't. You're absolutely right.
I'm dead.
It is being written.
But you're right, a producer moment, totally.
But it's interesting because she does experience a win as a character, which is, yeah, like Usman at the moment is like, stop calling her that. She was invited and I don't like it. And they're like, copy, boss, copy. And then she like touches his arm like a couple of times. It's like her man, honey. And then she's so happy.
Rubbing on him.
Yeah, rubbing, like so excited. She just like, she thinks he's so hot. Like when he gets off the plane, it's like, I think she almost gonna like, she's gonna literally faint like one of those people at the Michael Jackson concert in the 80s.
Yes, she was that person. She was that. I want to know what her hot son thinks. Like he's
Man
young.
in the
He
mirror.
knows.
They would drop like flies. They're like, I know they're hot. Yeah, you know what? That's such a great point. I would have loved her hot son to be like, Mom, I'm gonna come in for like a little bit, check up on you, make sure everything is right. Like you need a little help, because I would love these like guys to then have to contend with like her son, and for him to like get the fact that his mom is like a little bit of a lovely, cringy super fan. Thank you for your service, super fan.
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly, basically, of course, it's sad that he's just like, thank you for both my presents. I'm going to go back to my room. I can't possibly sleep here in this beautiful, I can't sleep here with you. Absolutely. By the way,
Like, but this is your side of the bed.
Not
This is your side of the bed. Oh yeah. He's taking everything. The hand sanitizer, the wine. What?
I'm surprised he was like my swan now,
Yeah.
like.
Oh.
Okay.
He's like, this room is beautiful.
I'm gonna go into someone mild. Okay, I'm not. There's someone mildly boring to me is this Memphis Hamza thing, but I guess everyone's not. It's not boring, but it's like we can talk about it. It's not as good as the other ones. And that's, having said that, they're still great, and it's just that's how great this season is so far. There's so many great
agreed.
new people.
Hamza at least is hot. He's real hot to us.
Oh, Yusuf is hot. Let's come at his friend that drives in the airport.
Oh yes.
Yes. I think the real MVP of this segment is the mother, because of the fact that she is divorced. And I don't know the circumstances regarding that, but before it to have been such a negative impact on her life, like bra the fucking vo, you know what I'm saying? And so if he's trying to use Memphis to get to the US to pay for his brave ass mama, I support her 100%.
Exactly.
I don't know who his dad was, but I'll tell you this right now. He was an asshole. Because like like that woman is gold. Do you see, first of all, like it is so, we've seen a lot of like, different like Arabic or Middle Eastern or like Islamic moms of different kinds. And there's like a range of different, this one is like, we're not going to use your dumbass bedding. I'm going to buy flowers for her and they're gorgeous. I've spent a lot of money on them. Those flowers, those are beautiful, fresh cut flowers. And you like, I'm just gonna throw out a number, like at least $80 to $120 in America for those flowers. Cause they're like long stem, gorgeous bunch, like, like maybe 60 somewhere, but like, but I don't know.
Definitely one of the most supportive when we think about like Zied's sister and some other, and how not supportive they, I know mom still has a little bit, but to me, the things that she says about indecency and that's truly a cultural thing. But she actually tells Hamza that like, I don't care that she's a foreigner. I think what'll come up for it is that she still though wants Memphis to take care of him. And so it's kind of like, what's mom's definition of that? And look, I found out, that in Memphis, she has her nurse practitioner, and we're like, that's amazing. She has her master's. She's a nurse practitioner in like social mental health.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The irony.
The irony. And so
I didn't know that part.
Yes. It's so, while I said, you don't know this, but my master's in clinical psychology. And I always say that people in school were either, they were crazy and they needed their own shit, or they like worked their shit out and they want to help people. And I don't know if she's the latter one. So I bet you that's what's going to be a big deal for Memphis. Because I'm telling you right now, Memphis has never Googled what are Tunisian culture for women.
To me,
she's going to be shocked.
I don't understand why he had to lie to her that she can't sleep with him in the bed. Like, I don't understand you don't know that you're going to that kind of country and staying in a home with his parents, and you don't kind of have on the radar that you can't you can't be in the same bed. Like, only because it's like, Matt, like, you're this from the South, like, like, why? As a woman, wow, I'm to both of your opinions. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, like, just give me the extra room, or whatever. You take the couch, I'll take your room. Like, it wouldn't be a thing. I'm like, oh, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah. Even in the States, I would be uncomfortable sleeping in the same room as my lover or boyfriend, especially if I've only been with them for 8 months and I'm just meeting the family. Now, if we've been together for 3 years, maybe this is the third or fourth or fifth time I've met the family, they're comfortable with me, then okay, I'll sleep in the same bedroom. But the fact that she's like, oh, there he goes lying, I'm like, girl, what?
He did say it though. So it's like, I guess that's like, that is like what I was confused about. Like, did he just
he did, he did kind of say, first of all, my mother would be like, Matthew, are you sure you don't want to sleep in that bed with that girl? You sure you don't want to, Matthew? And I say, no, mama, I don't want. My dad, Matthew, sure, just one time, son. I'm like, no, daddy, I'm fine. I'll give you $1,000, son, if you sleep with that woman right there.
Back with Pro?
Yeah, yes, exactly. So my parents, but you're right, that there is a lot in the South. There are a lot of people that don't do that. And I was surprised though, how he was like, Mom, no, Mom, that's old school thinking. Like, I think what's hot about Hamza has a confidence of like 28. Like, he's like, no, love is love. I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm like, this is very different. Cause y'all remember, we just think of so much beautiful, but Zied was quite conservative. And so I love that they're like, not that as Americans that watch this show and are horrible at seeing one person from one place in the world and assuming all people are like that, we're seeing like the difference of just cultures. And hopefully people are getting that.
But he's already from a renegade type of family. And so that's what I love about Hamza, is that that they're already renegades within a conservative culture.
So it's easy for them to shuck the culture because they've already been thrown out by it. That's true.
Do you think that he's like, Memphis is a single mom with 2 kids? I know and get that in some ways, or some moment of
Memphis. I think, or he might be thinking, Memphis got a fat ass and I like them curves.
Yeah.
Because
I love when he said that. Yeah, a plump girl and a sexy body, honey, Because
I didn't realize they didn't speak. I knew they had a little bit, but I didn't realize, like, when he picks her up, he knows no English. Like, the only time they have communicated is, I think, mainly through body language.
Yeah, like, I guess later on they started, Google translating. I guess I think we see that, right? Like, when he's like, I did tell my mom, or my mom, like, that he comes clean with the mom thing when Google Translate.
Yeah. And even like when they were in the airport and she's like, you don't know how to get out of here? And he's like, I don't know. And me, just coming back from Quebec, I saw sortie and I was like, I know that means exit. Hey. So it's up to her too. Like, if she couldn't learn Arabic, I think that it would have been smart of her to learn French, at least the basics, because it's the same alphabet as English. So she would have been able to learn something. And so it also shows her ignorance. And like, even him, when they translate, Hamza, how do you feel? And he's like, she's fine, it's okay. That's not what we fucking asked you.
No problem. No problem. Fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
The thing, people, when they get on 90 Day Fiancé, they need to do like a welcome package and get them like a Duolingo, like immediately.
Yes.
Like, because Mike and I forget her name. Mike in Colombia.
Ximena. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, she couldn't work. That's horrible. He bought her all this shit, and you couldn't buy her a language package. So, because she's at home, it's not like she's busy with 2 kids, but she's at home, not working. Maybe she could learn like a little. Yeah, and you could learn a little. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Whole ass kitchen, honey. A whole ass kitchen.
A whole ass kitchen.
And the dining set and the living room set. I mean,
Rent a blender. Now that was the most unnecessary thing. Like she did not. No necesitas una licuadora. Okay, that shit was unnecessary.
would you have died if she had pulled out like a full Vitamix? Like, he got Vitamix and a Breville. It's like, shit, what do you have? Like, you know, like my KitchenAid, you know, just like every expensive ass, like, what are you, like a cook, honey? What is he? He's really putting it in, like, when I get there. I mean, is he going to move there?
It's a KitchenAid mixer. Do you know what I would do for a Vitamix?
Oh,
I would do for a KitchenAid mixer.
Apparently, what you would do for a MacBook Pro, I'm scared to ask, bitch.
Yeah. Because a KitchenAid will last you for a long time. The MacBook Pro is only going to last you 6 years. KitchenAid will last you the rest of your life. So KitchenAid's worth more in that way.
Yeah. Herpes is going to last a lot longer than that MacBook Pro.
There's medication.
That's true.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it either way.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, like, okay, so this is all So basically I just jumped all over the place. Yeah, the Ximena, Memphis. I have nothing really more to say about Memphis and Hamza other than I'm really scared because she has kids, and basically also we can judge what friend you thought was hotter. The one that he's like working out with and like kickboxing with, who like wants to just marry like the friend or a sister, or Yusuf, like I said, who's the guy that drives me to the airport that I'm like, well, I'll kill you because he's mine.
Okay, that's fine. But also I want to say, Mickey, leave me alone. Okay, go on.
I you know, they're all, let's be honest, I'm a whore. Whatever. I'd hang out with them all the time. We just sandwich each other, just like layers of pizza. Let's do it.
Also, do you like, I'm sorry, I brought this up, but I just want to say this because I'm like, would you get into a bed with that cow bedding on it? Like with the farm animals bedding on it?
Matt, you go first.
I would get into the bed. I think it would bother me like what I would do in the bed. I don't think I could get freaky deaky. I think what about you all?
I would get in the bed, but I would assume that there would be crumbs in the bed because a child obviously slept in that bed. So I would get into the bed with the assumption that I need to wear full clothes. Otherwise, I'm feeling like Cookie Monster crumbs everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sometimes I kind of like that kind of print might have that weird kind of like flannel feel, like the old timey sheets.
Yes.
If that had that, I would happily get in, honey. But
if it was like an Eddie Bauer's Kid edition.
Is that what it is? Like, I'm going to go.
It's back like when Ford used to make Eddie Bauer cars. Like, remember when if you were a child of the 90s now, everything was Eddie Bauer.
Yeah, it was like they had licensed it.
It was a lifestyle.
Yes. It's like Tommy Bahamas, but
yes.
But wasn't he a football player? I don't even know.
I think Eddie Bauer had those super soft flannel sheets, because I remember we had my rich cousins would have some in the winter, and I'd ask my mother, and she'd say, "We get our sheets at Walmart, Matthew."
Oh. You could have been like, "Well, Mom, if you want me to sleep in a bed with a girl,
yeah, if you want me to, yeah."
I want 1,000 thread. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But would you okay, so yeah, but like, would you sleep if you had just brought a guy home to your house, would you sleep in a bed with him to your parents' house?
Me? No, I couldn't do that. My
family. Oh, Matt, you would? Oh, okay. In the South.
I mean, I think, I think they lost it. They stopped caring when they found out I suck a mean dick. So I think they were fine with it.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like I wouldn't in front of my dad. My dad wants me to do like a lot of crazy shit too. Like as fans, like I would not. I would like the first time my dad met a guy that, and I'm guessing since it's the first time I'm not married to him, I would just be like, cool, like he's gonna sleep in that room, and like I don't know, like
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't. Not in my father's home, unless we're married or we've been together for 2 to 3 years.
So you both mentioned your fathers. Let's say your father's on vacation or whatever, and he's gone, and just your mother is there, and your father's not going to know about it. Would you do it if your mother was there?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
God, it's such an interest. Yeah.
Yes, you would, Chris. You would. You'd be like, fuck.
No, I'm glad I asked that because I think that's the difference. Because I am much more if my dad was there, for sure I wouldn't care. If my mom, I'd be a little bit more like, oh, but I'd still would do it. Because I'm a slut.
You would get in bed with Wonder Woman sheets.
Oh my
honey.
gosh. I would.
Yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful shirt, honey. So moving on. We have nothing more to say about that. We have so listen, I'm gonna give Matt, I don't know how long you can stay with me. I know we've been talking for an hour.
I've got like 10 minutes. Oh wait. Oh my God. I'm a hypocrite. That just reminded me. I used to have Pottery Barn used to have comic book t-shirts, and I had those in my bed, and I had a lot of grinder hookups have sex in my comic book bed.
Mm-hmm.
So and then when I got a boyfriend, he was like, he's bougie, and he was like, I'm not sleeping in this. I was like, but they're Pottery Barn. He was like, no, we're not doing this now. And I said, okay. So I'm a hypocrite. I would do it all.
What sheets is like? I like Bull and Branch. Oof.
We are, you know what? We're big purple fans. We got a purple bed, and then I got the purple sheets. I have that, and then I have the Pottery Barn heat wicking sheets. I learned to just spend money on, I'm tight with a lot of other things, but on sheets, y'all buy nice sheets. You're there half your life. Buy nice sheets.
Okay, so sorry, I want to say this. So Matt, because you have 10 minutes left, I'm going to give you the choice of who to talk to.
Okay.
Minutes for you. Of course, your options are Ella and Johnny,
Okay.
Mike and Ximena, or Alina and Caleb.
You know, because I feel like I might need y'all to school me. I'm going to say Alina and Caleb.
Ooh.
Because, you know, so many of our sissies, well, that's what we call our listeners, our sissies. And our sissies, all of them are like, I hate Caleb. And Jake and I are like, we don't know if we're dickmatized because he's like 6'4" and he's cute. And he brings Magnum condoms on trips. So that's already got our mind racing.
I'm dead.
That's what he does, though. So we are wondering, like, is I don't know. We're like, maybe we're missing something. So that's why I want to bring this up, because if y'all need to read me for filth, even though Wa just met me, I feel like she has no problem with this. And I appreciate that about her. And I know, and Chris, we're friends. And I know you'll be like, honey.
Okay. Caleb is this. He is not to be trusted. He talks like he's on stage, honey. He talks like he studied a little bit at the I would say the Yale Academy of Dramatic Arts. His elocution is too good to be trusted. So Wa is showing a pixelated version, but it's your podcast.
I thought it was, yeah.
I'm following you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, I want to be a sissy too.
No, no, we keep meeting with, both of you, we'll have you both on the show. We just got to give us like 2 weeks. And so we'll have you on in January or February.
Okay.
Sissy that walk, honey.
Yeah.
I just love that. So we last got teased with the big moment where Caleb sees Alina and Alina sees Caleb. Alina, and what their reaction would be. Of course, they've been talking as a long time, and Alina has some insecurity. And Caleb rounds the bend, honey, and he does sort of look like, when he comes out, like a version of Jordan Catalano, a little bit. He can sometimes look good and sometimes look crazy a little bit to me.
Yeah, I get that.
Why do you think Caleb's hot? Why do you think Caleb's hot?
He's giving me Gaston. Like, he is hot sometimes, and then if he's not clean, though, he's not. Or the hair down, it's hot. Not the hair down, not hot. Like, I don't.
I agree. There's something. I know it's like triggering that. Because Interview with the Vampire, rest in peace, Anne Rice, but Interview of the Vampire was part of my sexual gay awakening when that movie came out. And so I always will love men with straight brown hair like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Like, it's going to happen. Yeah. So I think that with the hair down, when he went to see his parents, I was like, whoa, mercy. I think with Yes, I can't say her name right. The Venice Wilkinson just said a potential super fan. Maybe I am a Caleb super fan. No, I'm not. But
We'll get you a
but
shirt, honey.
I know. But I think I don't know yet. Like, I felt like this episode, a lot was thrown at him. I don't know the whole story. I don't know if he's being like, I'm suddenly not acting like I'm attracted to you. Is that a reaction because he's really tired because he looked like hell, and that he's overwhelmed? Because I don't know if Alina has like he just said, this is really the first time I've seen Alina from the waist down. And so it just seems like they haven't talked a lot. Like as he's doing the wheelchair and stuff, it's like the first time he's hearing this. So I'm like, is he stupid and he didn't listen? Or did she not communicate this? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And it kind of like brings me into, like I said, like whose fault exactly was it for the hotel booking? You know, like to me, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be lovely if he had like completely had her consideration in booking it, but my goodness, like let's also like take care of ourselves, my loves. Like, you know, I look at if you listen to this, if you travel with me, I will be like, tell me all the details. And then I will Google every situation. I will read all the trip advisor reviews. I'm a crazy person. So like I do that, my loves, just to know my amenities are there because I want to make sure an espresso is going to wake me up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just saying, if you have certain wants and needs, like, let's get on top of them. You know, like that's just self-care for yourself. Let's take care of yourself. Like at the same time, you know, yeah, it was very kind of like this culture shock, if you will, like just like we have with like ethnic and really cultures of like two worlds not understanding how to like coexist in each other's worlds, like not done the research to understand it, like Memphis going to, you know, like a hardcore traditional country. It seems as foreign, you know.
Yeah, I really do think that Caleb, because he was raised by like the elderly, he also doesn't have a sense of like the world. I think he's very sheltered, even though he considers himself an international bad boy. But there's still a part of him that's like, you know, his parents are very conservative and don't know much about anything. The fact that they don't even know that now little people are called little people. Like they were like little people, what? You know, they didn't even know that. So it's just like, to me, that's a part of that thing where unless you are actively looking to like go outside of yourself, then you're not going to have that information. And then secondly, I do think a little bit falls on Alina because I don't think that she truly explained to him that she needs to have a wheelchair all of the time. I'm sure she probably said, oh, I use a wheelchair sometime, when she should have said, I use a wheelchair most of the time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, go ahead.
Also, I think that the fact that she sent Ethan away was a major mismove on her.
Elijah,
yeah. She should not have sent Elijah away. Even for the sake of having that first interaction with each other, she needed to lay the foundation, because when he says to her, well, what are you going to carry? I said to myself, this man doesn't see this woman. Does he not see this woman? Yeah. What the fuck do you think she's going to carry?
She's not going to carry nada.
What if she was like, you jump on my lap. You.
It's just a whole different way. And it speaks to how, I mean, we could go into a whole thing about how little we think about people that are handy capable in our country and kind of are forgotten. Because even like this last year, I moved home to take care of my dad who was sick, and he was in a wheelchair, still is in a wheelchair. He wasn't before, but he became in a wheelchair for a long time. And I remember we drive down to doctor's appointments, and my dad had been in a wheelchair for like 4 months, and I'd been the one literally taking care of him full time. And I wouldn't think to book a hotel that was wheelchair accessible. And like we checked in the hotel the like 4th time, and the person said, do you want a wheelchair accessible bathroom? And I went, you can have that? Like, I just didn't know. And so you've got to it's such an example of, y'all, people in relationships, no one reads your mind. You have to, it's always okay to over communicate your needs. And I don't know if Alina, like you said, Wall, she wanted to paint this picture that she's not all who she is, because she would have brought Elijah to the airport. But instead, she I get it. She wants to have this moment, but then he was just, I felt bad for her. But then at the hotel, when he's like, I mean, he seems so not affectionate at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it was because he was definitely tired. And I called it because I was like, if that were me and all of a sudden somebody were to expect me to push them and carry my own luggage. Listen, I fly into Ontario Airport in California and it ain't nothing but 2 terminals and 1 baggage claim. And the fact that I have to carry my own bags out 10 steps to the curb where my dad is there, I'm like, oh. So I can't even imagine flying 30 hours and then getting to a foreign country and then having to push someone and my luggage, being dog tired and not having not being my normal self. And maybe he didn't feel like making out, but unfortunately that is what she needed to overcome some of her fears. And so until they start to kind of like be honest with each other, I think we're going to have this kind of miscommunication. And believe me, there's 2 sides, because on my last video, I had people talking about that they thought Alina was manipulative. And I said, I don't think she's manipulative. I think she's trying to guard herself to a certain extent. And I think that he's just kind of dumb.
I don't think he's the smartest.
I don't think he's the smartest. I really want somebody to tell me like why can't we get, or why Alina doesn't have a motorized chair, or in the sense of it seems very much like a lot would be better if she could just have a little dial and just move herself, honey. She can move it herself. She can stop when she wants. She can turn. She has the ability with her hands, like, you know, like
that woman in Gremlins who ended up dying on the stairs. That's an
Yeah.
old reference. I just dated myself.
That's an old reference, but I know exactly what you're talking about. So there we are. Both of us.
That's where we, okay, well, I didn't know the reference, so I'm young. So that's fine. Yeah, like the whole time I was like, oh girl, you know, because I think what's also feels like is that he's obviously taking care of her in the situation. And, you know, in the sense of even like obviously carrying her, you know, and whether that, I think that maybe that kind of like role is different for someone who isn't able to, who is not prepared to like step into that kind of like nurturing role. Because there's a lot of like, I think of like women who like mother men or whatever, but like there's not a lot. I mean, like there's men that father women, you know, but like I don't necessarily feel that kind of vibe from Caleb. He seems more like, let's just see how life goes, and like I'm attracted to this person. I cuddle with my friends all the time, you know.
Yeah, that cuddling with his friends bullshit was weird. Also, like I do understand him being like, so Elijah slept in these sheets.
Yeah.
Did you call room service to change these sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be different too, and that I think it's not great that they're not meeting in a place where Alina lives, because I think probably where she lives, she's coordinated her life that she can reach things, she can do more things. Like when we see her in her home, she's doing a lot more. So I think too, like this isn't an accurate representation for Caleb to see of her life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It takes away like I don't think they're because it's so important that they actually connect right now. They're not being able to connect because the extremities of like what has to like happen for them to be in this world. And having said that, it's obviously, as we said, like a marketed awakening to understand how truly this world isn't for everyone in the sense of its accessibility. And so I'm just saying, I
mean, he doesn't even know that he can go anywhere and get Wi-Fi because her pussy has Wi-Fi. He doesn't even know that yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I am sad that he's not going to like Elijah, but we can, you know, like that makes me really upset.
Also, Elijah's doing too much to me.
Well, yeah. So, Matt,
think so. I fully admit, y'all, I've been, and she might come for me. I don't know if Alina just talked about like it's not caretaking, and this isn't caretaking, but I was saying on the podcast a week ago, I just got through doing like a year of caretaking for my father. So I watched kind of all what Elijah's doing and I'm just like, it's not caretaking, but it still is a lot to help someone, and it's constant. And when it's going to, I think Elijah's doing a lot. And so that's great that her friend can do that. but it would make me wonder, like, are you? I almost would think, are you not telling me the whole story because you wanted me to bring me here to like, are you looking for someone to love, or are you looking for someone to help you do things? Because we don't know anything about Alina's life. I don't know. And I know that some people can come for me on that, but that I think in this episode, Caleb had a very human response, and it was a respectful human response. And I want them to make it. Like, the 90 Day is pushing that this is a love story that we're going to root for. And I am rooting for it because I like them both individually. But like, he didn't even know how even tall she was. And I think we're going to find out. I guarantee you, once this fairy tale begins to pop a little bit for Alina, we're going to start finding out. She's going to start finding out that Caleb she doesn't know shit about him either.
So what did we talk about for 15 years, do you think?
Yeah, and it's like, is he not asking enough questions? Yes. Is she not giving enough detail? Yes.
Yes.
Also, 15 years, but like 15, what did they, again, like, I guess there was a break. We'll see what happens with that. I did like the part where she was like, Americans are so weird. There's just one part that really hurt my heart is when they're in the taxi driving back, she is looking up at him, honey, like a puppy wanting to be pet, like.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he doesn't seem like he's super into it,
No.
He doesn't, and he does, I think, in his best way, which is he picked his words saying that I think you're beautiful, but you are smaller and it's different, and hoping that, yes, our sizes are jarring in comparison, but he's hoping chemistry will fly back.
But I mean, people at least like put their arm around someone. Like, it didn't seem like, that's where I was like, okay, at first he's tired. And then when they got in the cab, I'm like, oh, it doesn't seem like he's into this at all.
I think that as much as I want this world to be as safe and great for Alina as possible, I need Alina to lean into wanting to portray a little more of an independent vibe in these first couple of moments with Caleb, because even when she's like, she wants him to carry out of the car, and she's like, okay, I'll do it. And at first I was like, okay, yeah, Alina, just slide out of the car, girl. Like, I mean, this man's gonna this man's you didn't prep him right, honey. Like, you can just get out of that car.
I agree, Chris. I think that she, that whole like, okay, I'll get down myself. I didn't know how long they were sitting there before she decided to say all that. Because for us, it was just like a second. And
what if it was 20 minutes? She just sat there waiting for 20 minutes for Caleb to come get her.
Yeah, and he just sat there. And I guess, as an introvert, honestly, I could see him not wanting to hug and kiss on her as he got off of a 30-hour flight and then had to push her through the airport. Like, even if it was conscious or unconscious, like, I could relate to that, because me, I'm like, hey, I can't talk anymore. And I shut down. People are like, what? I have more questions. And I'm like, no, I already told you I can't talk anymore.
I disagree. I feel like him not wanting to kiss her, or like, is the same as Usman not wanting to kiss Kimberly. Like, you are supposed to you're supposed to be greeting someone that you have.
When you care about someone, when you care about them, you put forth the effort, even if you don't want to, a little bit.
Good to know.
Your body and mind. I'm like, how's your body and mind stopping it? You're like, oh, hi. You're like, and here's the thing. I do think that, I think Hamza and Memphis actually had a really lovely reunion or whatever moment where, like, he did seem like into her, and like they can't speak a word of anything, So it's like you can see when they're into it or whatever. And Usman, it wasn't into Kimberly, and definitely, I hate to say, Caleb wasn't very forthcoming or expressive any sort of romantic interest that he might have in Alina.
No.
I mean, but her face, though.
I know.
She's hot, and them titties. Oh, girl, she's hot.
She looked like me at a high school football game in my mascot costume, just looking at the hot football players, just sad.
Yeah. Oh, my love.
Yes.
Do you have any more to say about them? in your
I think right now, like, I'm pretty buttoned up. I mean,
Yeah.
I could go on a lot, but no, I think no, I think we covered it. So I appreciate it. I appreciated this conversation because y'all basically are kind of where Jake and I are. Like, we feel like a lot of people are wanting to say he's the next Andrew, and I full stop to that. I don't think I'm not saying that he's not the next Andrew, but I'm saying don't call someone the next Big Ed or Andrew unless they prove themselves that, because that's a shitty thing to call someone. So he could be, but I think right now I'm like, let's give him a chance. And I don't think he's done. We just need more information. So I'm glad y'all are there too. And I just want to make sure I'm not being an asshole.
No, you can be. You're fine. You're here with friends, my love.
I am here with friends. I am here with friends.
Also, just side note is, what a gorgeous Christmas tree behind you.
Thank you. Although our angel fell and broke like 3 days ago, so I don't have it. I don't. As always, I'm just a bottom without a top.
Oh. You know what's so funny? I was like, where's he going to go with this? I thought you were going to say something like, as you know, every time an angel falls, I get to suck some balls or whatever.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, every time an angel falls, someone gets HPV. I don't know. But but thank you. I do. My little favorite ornament is, I can't point, that one right there. It's a Broadway ornament of Carol Burnett in Once Upon a Mattress. That's my favorite.
Oh my!
It supports Broadway's AIDS care. So anyway, but I love you both. Wow, I'm so glad you were so funny.
Glad to have met you too, Matt. I'm an admirer from afar. I'm glad to have been pulled into this world.
Girl, we'll have you on the show. We would love that. Love that too. And you too, Chris. So we're supposed to do a live show in Chicago next week. So we're supposed to do that in New York.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm very happy too. We don't know what's going to happen with Omicron, but we're happy.
Oh my God. That's like the dream of this 90-day fiance, like, reality podcast world, because I follow so many different people in different genres of it, the Instagrammers, the podcasters, and the YouTubers, and to find that you guys are going on tour is such an inspiration.
Oh, well, thank you.
Such an inspiration. So congratulations.
Thank you. That was the goal when we started, because we're theater queens, because that's how we know Chris, because Chris is actually, we have done theater with Chris. And so that's where we went to. But anyway.
Are you guys in LA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you in LA?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not in LA. I'm in San Bernardino. But
I was just in San Bernardino. Jake and I, we just went to see David Archuleta in concert in downtown San Bernardino for Christmas.
Archuleta?
And it was amazing. It was like the voice of God. We actually did it on our Patreon, our Love After Lockup episode. Jake hated it, but I put on mics and I recorded us driving to San Bernardino because we had horrible traffic and it took 2.5 hours to get to fucking San Bernardino.
Yeah. My God.
We did a great podcast of Jake just yelling at me, screaming about my driving, and singing David Archuleta Christmas carols. It was a wonderful time.
On that 10 freeway, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, you guys were stressed out.
Well, we'll do the show virtually. We're not going to make you drive for San Bernardino. Unless we want Sonic, we might drive to you then.
Chris and I met at an LA audition. So, I lived in, straight out of college. So...
Theater bringing my faves together.
Oh, I love that. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much. And Chris, as always, I love you very much. And yes, I'll be in touch with both of you soon. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So yeah, this is Matt Marr. Everyone, of course, Reality Gaze with Jake, but of course you can also follow him at the Matt Marr. And I love you so much. And thank you
very much.
On with me for the next two couples, but thank you for joining us, and God bless you and each and every one.
Each and every one. Ding.
Bye.
Oh, he was saying goodbye, and I was like, cut him. I love you so much. I'm so sorry, Matt. I know. I love you. He's gone, honey, gone in the night. I can see him, but you can. Thank you, my love. Okay, so by the way, if you haven't yet, please like this video. Please thumbs up this video. We have 2 more couples we're going to go through. So just remember that your thumbs up or down, you can engage any way you want. It just really means a lot for our little our little show we're doing. So Ella and Johnny, which I know that you are specifically excited about. So let's get into Mike and Ximena first. Mike and Ximena, he's packing those toys, honey. He spent all that money on those toys, even though he like J-Lo, and J-Lo's husband was like, don't spend too much money. We don't trust this woman. He bought all the crayons, all the Crayolas, honey. He's packing them all. Don't worry, just packing those bleeding markers onto clothes without nary any plastic, not one bag, honey, just sitting on top of all of the fabrics. Wow.
Also, his bedroom floor is disgusting. There was a scene, a very brief scene of a cat walking in, and I thought that the cat was outside in the garage, and it was not, and it was disgusting. And all I'm saying is, if cameras crews are in your home, clean your home.
Please scrub it.
And so I love when he's talking to his grandfather and his father, because he makes it seem like he's taking care of his grandfather only. But I'm like, nah, you're definitely taking care of that father as well. He's like, huh, Mike, you're talking to me? Be careful out there, Mike. Don't do anything you're not supposed to do. You know, this isn't New York City. And I said, did you know that New York City is a rough and tumble place as well? You could easily get your kidney stolen in New York City as you could in Colombia. So don't act like New York City is so different.
You're absolutely right. I have so much fascination in those scenes with the dad and the grandpa. First of all, between 4 men now that we know in that family, because we know what his brother looks like, what different features and genetics just across the board, a spectrum. Also, there are so many bottles on the table that the grandpa and dad are always sitting at. Like, I keep looking to see, like, what kind of bottles are they? They're like, is it soy sauce? It's not like different. It's actually things with spray tops.
I don't know. That's where they sit.
I know.
I'm almost positive there's a TV somewhere that we don't see.
Yes, but why don't they sit at a couch? Because there's not. I feel like they're sitting not in comfortable chairs. They're sitting in dining chairs. But are they?
They might not be able to get out of a cushy seat. Like maybe a lazy boy doesn't offer the amount of support they need to actually get up.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that kitchen counter had all manner of bags on it. And I'm just like, you know what? They're all going through something. The matriarch passed away a year ago. And like Mike can't be expected to do everything because I'm pretty sure he didn't do anything. And I also think it's hilarious that they think that Ximena and her children are going to just move into that house. I said, who do you want her to be? Your little cleaner? Absolutely not. This hot ass woman is not going. You didn't get that kind of Colombian, okay? Especially after we figure out and find out about her life story that she offers up and tells us herself.
I know. The best part of, she really is she's such a character. But yeah, I also side note is like, if anyone cares, because we talk about dirty things all the time, is like, you know what else looked disgusting in their life and they really have to clean it, and dear God, clean yours and I'll clean mine, is the coffee maker looked disgusting. I'm sure it was never lightly scaled. So he puts the ring in the carry-on, so that kind of like makes me okay with the fact that he put the Crayola like markers just sitting on top of his clothes. And he goes, oh, look at the super chat. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Hi, Mama. Thank you. Happy holidays. What a beautiful, lovely gesture. Also, I'm just like, I love looking at people's pictures. I love this. I just love a white outfit. I love a monochromatic, neutral look. So like in cream or white, like taupe, caramel or caramel, or like these neutral tones. It's like I think a monochromatic neutral look is like so chic. So by the way, thank you so much, Bonnie. He gets to Colombia, and she said that she was going to meet him there. And so the producers, I feel like, milk this like, whoa, she's not going to come, thinking because she's like running late, which of course she's running late because she like doesn't care like one shit about this person, but she's there. And she's been knowing what he looks like. She's not been impressed. We travel back to meet her 24 hours prior, which is her life story, honey. She has 2 kids. One child is from a one-night stand, and the other child will tell you about it. So she met this man on Facebook. Well, do you want to tell the story, or you want me to tell the story?
I want you to tell the story, but also let's just note the fact that this child is 9 years old. She's 24. Do that math of that one-night stand.
15.
Do 15-year-olds have one night stands? I mean, they might in certain circles, but part of me is like, are we calling it a one night stand? Are we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that until, but it's a very astute comment to make, and heavy. It's a heavy thing. I think that she might have lived a life. Well, it seems like she might have lived a life that, unbeknownst to us, and God bless what she's seen. Maybe it's a lot. So she met this. Okay, so God bless. That's the first child. But the second child came by this way, which is she met a man on Facebook. Honey, this man was in jail. The man was in jail because someone insulted his uncle, and he, in a moment, defended his uncle.
Made a choice
To defend his uncle, and what we can only assume is meant he killed someone. So, I mean, but neither here nor there, and allegedly, and by allegedly, what I'm telling you, and not at actually anything, but I mean, that's what I was feeling from instinctually or whatever, God bless. So but he's already in jail, right? So she meets him on Facebook, and then she's like, I really want to have a child. So I'm going to repeatedly visit this man in jail to have, honey, look at law, to have sexual relations, and put her legs up in the air, honey, like just gravity, letting Sir Isaac Newton, what he found with that apple, just reverse into her uterus. Wow.
And after the second time she got pregnant, that child is 3 years old and she's 24. So she made this decision at 2021. So Ximena doesn't make the best decisions, but also there's something going on with her familial structure because her stepmother is almost the same age as her. So we're just living life. They are just living life. Like, there are people who like just live life, and there are people who meet like me who like plan life. And so I'm watching the opposite of me.
Could you imagine being Ximena's friend and watching her make the choices that she's made?
Oh, no.
But then in the pandemic, she's like, oh, I just met some guy and he's pays my whole life now. No, like, you see my new refrigerator? Do you see my new stuff? Do you see my new blender? Do you see my, like, wouldn't you just be like, you just God, or like, because you're just like, oh, you just get to make horrible decisions and just get free shit all the time? Like, your name is Ximena? Like, that's what happens for you in this world because of you?
There are so many women whose that is their life. And I spent so much time planning and trying to make the best decisions. And here I am alone, doing it by myself, like the fucking Laverne and Shirley of life. And it's good for her. She got so many things, and it's a blessing. And she's like, I'm going to take full advantage of this. Do what you got to do. I'm going to take full advantage of this. And her father even has the audacity to be like, what is this man's intentions? And I thought to myself, does it really matter, senor? Does it matter what his intentions are? You're not taking care of your daughter. You're not supporting her or supplying for your nietos. So, like, what does it matter? Your daughter went to a prison and opened her legs and let a man spooge her who is in prison, who's not coming out. That is the legacy in which you have. And I know there are some people who are like, once my daughter turns 12, she's on her own. There are people who are legitimately like that. Life is too hard for them to truly be taking care of kids after they become teenagers. So, like, maybe that was the scenario. But I'm like, if you were, say, other, Latino men's children, like Evelyn or certain, people that we've seen on 90 Day Fiancé franchises, there's something to be said about your daughter stating at 15 that she had a one night stand. And then the next time she got pregnant, it was in prison and she just let a man fucking go in her and he didn't have no prospects of helping her do shit. So there's that. That's all I'm going to say. No super judgment, but Mike is her savior. And as long as Mike understands his role in her life, he doesn't even really know the kid's age because he said that the oldest kid was 7, yet the oldest kid is 9. It is what it is.
I can't wait for Mike to realize all the things he doesn't know about Ximena. Ximena also has said, besides the fact that, you know, like she's just someone who like is like, please get me in that prison and like let me bone someone who like I didn't even know. This is what's even confusing about Ximena. It's like, oh, you like did you didn't know him before prison? You just were like, I want to meet someone in prison, and you just found this him. Like, and maybe it's an online thing. But the other thing is,
I actually thought that she had met him while he was out of prison. I didn't catch that he was already in prison on Facebook. I thought they met on Facebook, they got together, and then shortly thereafter he went. But you could be right. I just didn't glean that, and that's even.
guys, tell me. Okay, sorry. Tell me how you read it in the comments, because am I wrong? Did I maybe was right? And I don't know if like did I just like assume the way she said it was that she met him on Facebook and he was in prison. But
She's
he was in prison already?
She's a nail tech, yeah. Someone's saying that she's a manicurist, she's a nail tech, and so she was doing her stepmother's nails. I mean, that stepmother is at least 30 years younger than that father, girl. Like
yeah, well, God bless. So what's interesting to me is she obviously is just like, I'm not into Mike, at all. Like I really like bad boy types, you know, like drug dealers. Just love.
Yeah, big guys, buff guys, guys that do tattoos. That's who I'm into. And so Mike's not my type, but her type hasn't really been getting her anywhere. And so here's Mike.
Buying her, I mean, every HG, this, you know, everything that he liquidated Sears. I mean, no, he went her, but he bought all his stuff. So yeah, I also that's cool to see about that. I feel like she really is not into him, and she has like she can't even like try. I feel like there's like no part of her that's like just see if I can make this work for my kids because I really want this money. She just seems kind of like
somebody by the name of Shay put a comment. You can do what you want with it, what you will, Chris. I'm just letting you know that's there.
What? Okay. I read that her first kid was from her. Ah! That one?
Yeah. Shay, I'm going to need you to drop links. That's it. We don't have to talk about it. I just need you to drop links. And so, yeah, I just am like, this is an unfortunate circumstance. This is an unfortunate situation. I don't quite know what we're getting ourselves into. When she said that she got pregnant by a man who was incarcerated, knowing that no one was going to be there to help her take on the burden of having those kids. Like, I was like, there is a different situation going on that I am not completely aware of. And there's still more that he doesn't know about her. There is still more that he does not know about her. So yeah. There's that.
Okay, we are almost done, my love. It's gonna be a 2-hour goddamn live, and it's a 2-hour episode, so hilarious. With our final couple of the night, which we were finally introduced to Ella and Johnny. Honey, Ella and Johnny. Wow, you've been waiting for Ella and Johnny. I don't have a picture, but where's my picture of them? You've been waiting for Ella and Johnny, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting for them because it's just an interesting, like, it just seemed like it'd be fun and interesting. But then they had to go out of the gate with her being insecure about her body. I just wanted her to be comfortable in her body. And listen, even though that might be a pipe dream of mine, I just didn't want to start off with like us knowing that she had a hard time in high school due to weight and that she's had so much negative stuff happen to her due to her size. I effing love the fact that she's a cowgirl. I loved seeing her on that horse. I loved that she's fourth generation rancher. Even though I'm like, is that not Native American territory? Okay. But then like, there's certain things that I was like really into. And I am happy that she found Johnny. I love that she talked about playing with her giant boobie and watching his O face. So there's things that I enjoyed.
Yeah, honey, like.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful too, Chris. Like, her face, she's beautiful. Also, like, what are the similarities, Chris? You know that there are certain things that she said that spoke to me. Go.
She hated high school. People were mean to her.
Okay. Yeah, but there's on a happier note. There's another part of her
Oh.
life.
I'm so never put me on live.
There wasn't things that you were like, "Wah, okay, wah."
That she like. Well, you like. I mean, like you do like. I mean, you like Indian men.
One.
Okay, good. Like you actually, this is scaring me because I'm like now like. This is like I'm like you.
You didn't. Okay, let me tell you what it is.
That's something that you want just on live. What if I say the wrong thing? I don't want to do this. I hate this.
Okay. But when I say them, you're gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
One, she escapes into fantasy.
Okay.
Two,
Oh,
she loves the color purple.
Yeah.
3, she watches anime. And 4, the bitch loves dragons. Now, I don't got dragons all over my life, but Chris, I love an adventure with a dragon. There was a whole moment where I'm like, if the book doesn't have magic or dragons in it, I don't want to read it.
Why haven't you done any cosplay?
Because I don't. First of all, I feel like you have to be super in it to look past the fact that these characters are not Black, and I understand why they're not Black because they're Asian. Like, why would you include? You know, you're from a country where you don't necessarily need to be inclusive. Now, I know there are some now and blah, 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 blah. But, like, it's just not my fantasy. Like, I can fantasize about the Renaissance era. I can fantasize about the Regency era. But there's another part of me that recognizes that had I been alive in those era, I would not be a fancy fucking lady. So, like, I'm not going to reenact that shit. Like, that's just me. And there are Black women who don't even care. And they're just like, oh, I'm just blah, blah, blah. And for me, I'm just like, I got introduced to the slave trade too young in life to truly feel comfortable anytime before the 70s. Or even in a super phantasmic world, because I just don't think there's not that much there's not that much representation. Now, if it was like, Nefertiti cosplay, I might get into it, but I'm a nerd. I just don't go that far.
Yeah. She loves nerdy, like escapism or like fantasy shit. That's why, she's right. She's right. She chose all those things. She loves purple, and that girl has a purple house, honey. She just like likes to dress up and like play samurai swords with like some dude, like she has like hardcore yellow fever. She refers to everything as being Asian and not like specifically like something being Chinese or something being Japanese, like, or whatnot, depending on whatever she's talking about. When she talks about her ideal like guy from whatever, like, fantasy or anime, I was like, are you gonna say like Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon? Why do you think that she was gonna say Tuxedo Mask?
No, but I was really hoping that she didn't just like blanketly not acknowledge that the person that she was showing, or the person that they showed us, was specifically Japanese. Like, I get frustrated, the same thing you just said, I get frustrated when people say they're obsessed with a culture and then don't break down those cultures. Like, I'm not obsessed with Asian cultures, but based on last names, I can tell you who's Chinese, or not even Chinese, I can tell you who's Japanese or Korean and Thai, and then maybe I can throw in a Chinese. Chinese has too much diversity for me to truly like be able to pinpoint. But I'm like, you need to be able to pinpoint it. So the fact that she was like, I really love specifically samurai and that type of like Japanese anime, but then she's also with Johnny, who's clearly Chinese, and he's from Shanghai, and so the culture is different. So there was just so many cringy moments, especially when she's talking to her friend and she says, I like Asians and you don't. And I said, oh, that's not a good soundbite, because all I heard was, I like Blacks and you don't. And I was like, la, 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 la.
You don't like Asians. That's my thing, is what actually she said, which was like, you don't like Asians. That's my, It's hard. I did love the cattle ranch. Just want to go back how much I loved roping that cattle. Her mom, Debbie's just like her, honey. These are rough. These are women of the earth, honey. These are, like they're rugged, honey. They can get out there. They're hard workers, honey. Like rough hands. That's what I want to say. God bless. But she does, of course, have these friends she goes out to dinner with, and it sort of talks about, life. She has like two of them. I don't know how much she talks to her friends about like stuff in their life, because I'm always interested to be like, oh, are you guys like, how close are you or whatever? Because one friend was like, oh, you didn't know, like she's super sexual. I'm like, she is. No, she's been sexual. The other friend was like, really? And it's like, oh, if someone's sexual, like, don't you kind of like know or whatever? Like, isn't that like a vibe or whatever? But like, this dinner is awkward, that's when she had the sound bite of like, you don't like Asians. And at the same time, I'm going on the place. Yeah, at the same time, if she was a dude and we were just leaning into like how yellow fevery she was, it would be as cringy as it is now. There's moments, I remember when Tariq was like, I just love Asian culture. We were just like, all right, Tariq, but speak of God bless, R.I.P. Tariq Hazel. We've talked about it, Wab. Any other thoughts about R.I.P. Tariq Hazel?
Tariq follows my shit, and so I'm very like cautious when I talk about it. I don't trust Hazel at all. Like I'm not on her side at all. Like I feel like Hazel probably came here and with her bisexuality flipped the script, didn't like the way he was handling it, thought like, oh, I have options. Like to me, Hazel just needs to go back to the Philippines. Like I don't think I'm going to support the fact that he is a Black man and he brought her here, and that he, brought her into a home with his autistic daughter. He had every intention of bringing the son over. I just think that there were certain things that he wanted from her, and maybe she decided that they had changed. And then for her to go on a rant about how he's mentally abusive, and I'm like, who told you that? Who told you that he's mentally abusive? And if that's the case, go back home.
It's so funny because they're not so funny, or we'll say, but like the interesting thing, I guess, is that we heard all about that, and then there was like all this like Instagram post, and then there was like been nothing, but also Christmas happened, so maybe I just didn't deep dive. I don't think there's been any updates to that. Any updates?
I don't think there's been any updates either. Like I think they've both been quiet, but I'm like, at the end of the day, she should just go home. Like that's just the bottom line. If he's so mentally abusive to her and he's did all this stuff to her, then girl, you have a whole son at home. Go be with your son.
You're not wrong. Okay, so this is a good quote from Basola. Similar to Devin with her fetishizing of Asian men, perhaps? Perhaps. You are right. We'll say this, though. So in this thing with Ellie and, what's his name? Johnny. They meet in a group, and the group is literally like, Asian man, white woman, so.
.com. Yeah.
Those are two specific types. And then you are obviously stating in the group what type you're looking for. So it's like maybe some people are both, they're both filling out what they want each other to be in that kind of case. And they start talking. They start talking for like a year, but then they're just like back and forth, like boyfriend, girlfriend for like 6 months. And like they, in their sexual expression, have okay, so Ellie at first is telling her friend, she's like, yeah, so like I like take out a boob, like a little bit, like play my boob, my big boob. Yeah, it's huge, it's big, and he loves it or whatever, and he like will play with himself. And when she said that, I was like, there's more. Okay, that's the first thing you do, and that's not it. And then it gets into, and then sometimes, I've like used a vibrator. So I'm just like, yeah, honey, like it's revealed that she has an arsenal, honey, a bunch of vibrators, different sizes, different colors, how many different rotating things.
Yeah, and that's her right to have all of that. And her supposed best friend doesn't know about it. That woman is not her best friend.
One girl's face is just like, and she's like, has longer hair, and the girl with short hair is like, yeah, no, I know you. Yeah.
But no, that's the best friend. The one with the short hair is the one that's the best friend that was shocked that she had that many vibrators. And her roommate, who knew she had all the vibrators, is shocked to find out that she's like set up a whole situation to hold a camera and masturbate with said vibrator. And I'm just like, okay, what are we? Are we conservative or no? Like, what are we? Are we riding the fence? This one, like, you know, the roommate who is recently her roommate living in that purple castle is the one that's a little bit shocked about the fact that they have. I mean, she might be like, oh my God, you're having that kind of sex right next door to me.
There's a lot of people on the show who have children and the children don't live with them, including Johnny. He has a baby. The baby's name is Stony, and the Stony baby doesn't live with Johnny. Baby lives with someone else.
Baby lives with Johnny's parents. And I think that it was weird that her friends were like, that's weird that he's coming to the US for 3 months without his kid. And I'm like, that's not weird. It's always interesting to me when Americans are like, how can someone leave their kids? I'm like, so many people in so many countries who can't afford it or have to do it for work leave their children for months at a time with family members. That is so common. Like, maybe it's just because in American culture, this, like, you don't have as many families that are like visibly like multi-generational and just taking care of the kids. But I'm like, that happens all the time. I mean, at least in my culture, like my aunts, when they came to like my grandmother came to the US first, got her citizenship or did whatever the hell she had to do. Then she went back to Belize. Some of her kids came to the Americas. And so I have like a lot of cousins, first cousins, who were actually raised from like, you know, infant or some kind of kid until like mid-teenage years by my grandmother in Belize until they could get their papers once their parents settled everything in the US to get them to the US. So I'm just like, whenever people say stuff like that, I'm like, what are you talking about? They're with their grandparents. They're not like with fucking strangers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have, you know, it's like, I was thinking a lot about, you know, okay, Kimberly obviously says that she was in Desert Storm, and I have been in the generation where like there's been no war in which anyone in my generation has had to enlist by like, is it consecration? No, what's the word?
Draft, right?
By being drafted, or even when there's like a need for people because there's not been anything like majorly. I mean, there's, of course, we have like things happening, of course, all over America, but you know, or all over the world, but like to not have been in a war. And Desert Storm was like the last like major thing that happened, and I was too young at the time to have been affected. I remember, of course, I remember like all the countdowns on news and stuff. That I was young. When my grandparents, like my granddad was like in the army, and my grandmother went to work on the base, and they had a child, and so the child, they sent the child back to live with my grandmother's sister Selma, who had kids. So you can't raise a kid on a base. They didn't want to, I guess, because my grandmother was working, you know, and so conscription. I don't know if that's the same thing I went. Thanks you, Donna. Is that the word I think that means like when you have to like enlist. Anyway, God bless. So, and then, so that happened to my grandmother, Mary. So she had her son, Joe, and Joe lived with my Aunt Selma, my dad's oldest brother, while the war was happening. My own grandma, Mary, her father came over from Greater Syria, because there was no Lebanon, Syria, which is called Greater Syria, found shit here in the South, and then sent for his wife and their kids at the time to come. And my grandmother was in her mother's tummy. They got on the ship, and my grandmother was born like on a far off island. So there is, over history, for many different reasons, moments where children are not raised by their parents. But this generation, and maybe also in America, it is foreign to us for sure. Like, you know, it is a little bit foreign. Like, to not have like a nuclear family, like up to the 90s, was very foreign, you know. Like, I was a single child raised by a dad, and just to say, I mean, my dad has custody of me, was always like, I don't know where I lived, was like, oh, you know, like, it's just not how we normally do things, and weird. So I don't think that people have like such a feeling about it.
It's so, well, specifically in the Black community, I think it changed because Black women didn't take care of their own kids, specifically in the South, if they were in service. Like their parents did, or their siblings did, because they had to go spend almost 24 hours at these white people's houses. Or like, yeah. in
I thought
certain
you were like, army service. Okay.
no, in like house service. Like so, the same thing with like when there are certain Black children who like after the Emancipation Proclamation, like maybe some of your children didn't want to stay in the South and work on sharecropping farms, so they went north to get work. And whenever they had their kids, they would bring a child back, and they're like, "Here, raise my child while I make money, and I'll send money back for you." So it's very rampant, American-wise, in the Black community for Black children to be raised by their grandparents or an aunt or a sister. Like it's different. So like that's why I get confused when like people say it. And maybe if I'm thinking about it, it might just be like maybe more white families who had the benefit of having a nuclear family, whereas like Black women have always had to go like off and work. Not all, but a lot of the times. So yeah, to me it's not foreign, because I'm like, at least they're still raised their grandma. That's still like that's a valuable individual to be raised by.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Not one of the best.
Yeah. So, anyways, I thought that the producers set Ella up in a negative light. Not that there wasn't fodder there to go with it, but I didn't like that.
It's like they want to show us things that will get us talking and sound bites that will get us thinking. And they want to showcase things that will get us to make a judgment either way. This person's crazy, this person's weird, this person's this person's different. Because these crazy characters are like what the bread and butter of 90 Day Fiancé is, from the Big Eds to the, whatever, to the Angelas. So, I mean, in the future, like episodes when we have to like talk about whether his mom is in, or whether, I guess my question is like, yeah, is he really into big beautiful women? I think he is. So I think that kind of in this situation, both people are sort of like having a fetish be massaged, if you will. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that I want Johnny to like her. I want John. I mean, he has to know. He's seen her naked. He's seen her masturbating. He knows what he's about to get himself into. I don't like the narrative that he's going to help her with her weight loss journey. Just because, like, if you know anybody who's going through a weight loss journey, you've got to mentally get yourself there. And it's like, oh, he'll be making us vegetables and stuff. And I'm like, if you're still eating a ton of vegetables and you're like, I still need onion rings and French fries, like it's a mental place that you need to go into in order to be comfortable. And maybe she's thinking that once she finds somebody to love her, and that it's real, that she will get that motivation, but you can't call it this far out.
Shay wants to say, sorry guys, I may have reported a fake news source earlier. So
okay. I accept that.
Yeah. Thank you. Listen, we are not CNN.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're not stressed out about it.
That's all we have. That's all I have about them. Like we'll see obviously what happens in the episode. That is the entire episode I have, though. Like those are all the couples we went through. And even though, yes, we still don't know a final couple, which is, do you know their names? The crazy Christian.
Mahogany and I don't know, just Mahogany is the one that's more important, and the weird preacher guy. Ben and Mahogany. Ben and Mahogany. Yeah, so he's an ex-pastor. That's why he believed Jesus brought them together. He's a pastor turned bodybuilder.
I thought you said creature. So yeah, okay. Pastor. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, yeah, we still don't know them, and not even to the point where like they've been gone from like a teaser for a minute. Like they're definitely not in the teaser for the next episode at all. So they're not coming yet.
Yeah, and it's going to be 13 episodes plus a tell-all or two. The thing is, though, that we do have a picture of Mahogany. So, and it doesn't look like a picture that she sent him. It looks like a picture of it looks like that. So I really do think that it's going to be something that's going to actually happen. But I think that their storyline just happens faster, or it's less there's less fodder. There's less like stuff going on. Maybe whoever produced their segment just didn't have enough, you know, to, I don't know, change it or draw it out.
All the pictures of Mahogany look like a computer animated image of someone or Joku, right? Am I talking the same person? Like
you're better than me at it. I mean, I have the picture, but I don't know like how to show it to you. It's on my computer, but I don't know how to get it onto your live.
Oh yeah.
Here, maybe I can email it.
Did I make you a team member of my live? Oh, I guess I didn't make you a team.
I don't know how to. Yeah, I told you to, or I told you that it was an option.
You told me to, but honey, I didn't.
Yeah, no, I told you that it was an option, but I don't know like what. I don't know what it really does. Here, let me see if I can text it to you real quick. For those of you guys who are wondering, my video is live on YouTube right now. So if you wanted to watch my video, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, you obviously have to. Not now. Not during the live.
Yeah, you can stay on and just watch it. Okay, let me get my messages up and let me find Christine.
Looking, I just want to. Oh, there it is. I was going to put up. I had another Christmas card. I didn't think I put up their Christmas card. Looks.
Oh my God, Hannah, go get out of here. There's one with her without them, and I was
saw it. Yeah.
Huh, I'm a Hannah stan. Okay, I am a Hannah stan.
Are you a super fan?
I'm a super fucking fan of her. Like, I love the way Armando's like, this is how we're gonna do this. I'm in full support. I want her to be in novellas. I want her to be a child model. I want all the things for her because I really do feel like Hannah represents a demographic that we may not see in kids in Mexico. Like, she's not super light skinned. She's got dark hair, but she's freaking cute AF and she can turn a look.
Yeah, she absolutely can turn a look. I'm sorry, it took me 9 years for some reason to understand how to save this picture, but I'm in the process of doing it. So don't think it's not happening. It is happening. It's just the longest, worst thing in the whole world. Okay. I found it. This is not who I thought it was. I don't understand what pictures I was thinking of before. So truly just get rid of me. That's Mahogany?
Yeah.
I thought okay, wait. Mahogany. Is there anything 90 Day? There's nothing about what we know about Ben and Mahogany. Oh yeah, that is the picture. Viewers are already excited to know the newly announced cast. Oh God. Oh, they're already saying that maybe he's being catfished. Though UT revealed a photo of Mahogany, the YouTube clip shows Ben's friends voicing their concerns over Mahogany being catfished. Have you guys ever video chatted at all? No, she's very shy. Mahogany's suspicious behavior and the fact that she is less than half of Ben's age has raised many red flags for Ben's family members. However, Ben remains determined to pursue the relationship. He thinks God brought this gorgeous young Peruvian woman in his life, honey. Okay, yeah, so she just hasn't wanted to jump on that video call.
So part of me feels like if they were showing us a catfish version of it, the only picture we would have is like a picture of her like a selfie. Whereas this, like, somebody found her, like the crew was able to find her. Now, that doesn't mean that she isn't using him the way like Anastasia or Maria or whatever the hell that Eastern European woman in David was. You know, like, what's her name? The one who was like, I can't use an iPhone because my nails are too long.
I know. I don't know. But that girl. No, I don't know.
I don't know. But like, it could have been that where she is a real person, but she's a real person stealing his money. You know, just like.
He is 52 and she's 24 with a 28-year age diff. We've been talking for 2 hours. If you haven't yet, please like this video. Please subscribe. Your girls go live on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Chris L. Farah. This is Wah. She's at Just Call Me Wah. We also have Facebook groups. We're cool. Mine's called Vanity Farah when I always post when I'm going to go live.
Just
I
go
never.
to Chris's. I have a Facebook group of I don't know who goes in there. So I don't know who I don't know.
We're just going to give you guys a moment. Was anything else that you wanted to like just throw out there that you want us to give our opinion on in the 90-day universe or whatnot? I love you so much. I can't wait to give you my Christmas gifts for you. Can't wait to hang out and like spend some time with you.
Yeah, I have gifts for you too, like from all around the world. So got to give it to you.
Basola says, do you think Kenny and Armando will eventually start splitting time between Florida and Mexico? So last I heard, I thought they were moving to LA for some reason. Why, did you hear that, or did you make me hear that?
I didn't hear that, but I do think they will split time between Florida and Mexico.
Yeah, if not move to LA. But yeah, I think they should. I think that I remember just being like the whole time kind of like, just move to Florida.
Lana, yes, Lana. That's her name. Lana and David.
Oh, Lana. Yes, yes. Look at those beautiful pink roses. Oh, God, I love the pink roses. And then just like Anna just coming back and just be like, I'm going to do you guys a favor by like telling you who you don't know and you forgot what you're talking about. And I'll remember to tell people to like thumbs up. I mean, this is God's gift, honey. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Okay, that's what I can do for you tonight. Yeah, it's just like, can you believe we're gonna do our, so yeah, we'll just talk about this on Friday. Maybe I don't know when Wa's gonna work, but if she comes, maybe we'll do a live together, like either Friday or Saturday as a New Year's Eve situation for us. And so we can't make any promises, but we can also sort of like make maybe like penciled in promises, like a penciled in promise. That's all I have to say. Anything else from you, Wa?
Nope. Just go watch my video.
Oh yeah, just call me Wa's YouTube, which you can find here on YouTube. Other than that, yes, Lisa is right when she says so excited for these new couples. I'm so sick of the retreads. Yeah, I completely agree. I love it. All right. So other than that, we love you guys. And then Wa, do your outro.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining us today. You guys have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.
Yes. And remember to take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. And thank you so much for being here. And of course to Maddie and Wa here. And I love you guys so much and wish you the best in this Merry Christmas weekend, okay? Bye, boos.